G'day, I'm Stevic.
And I'm Kin. And
we're
we're
from
from...
12 Foot Ninja.
And you're watching Artisan News.
That's right.
I think it's great. Guns N' Roses definitely deserve it. He would have thought he liked the band a lot.
You can't get two different people then. What is actually
he actually, this was his last appearance that he ever made, was at the Golden Gods Awards in 2010. And actually just a few weeks before he passed away. So I think he would have been very honored.
Well, Axl's been around a long time. He's created part of creating one of the greatest albums in the history of heavy metal, and certainly an influential vocalist, songwriter, stylist, frontman in every way. So he's certainly deserving.
And what about Joan Jett? She's been somebody you always looked up to as well?
Well, I bought the first Runaways record, and I'm certainly a fan and a friend. She's a friend of mine, and in a world where there are too few female rockers. Joan's been leading the way and setting a great example. If only more girls would follow. There's certainly plenty of categories I'm deserving of, but I'm only here as the host of the Black Carpet. The title of my memoirs is Shut Up and Give Me the Mic. And whether it's radio, TV, movies, whatever it is, I love the microphone. So this is an opportunity for me to be me and to showcase another aspect of my personality. Well, the biggest thing for me is I wrote a musical called Dee Snider's Rock and Roll Christmas Tale, which is premiering in Broadway in Chicago November 4th. So it's a story of a rock and roll band who sells their soul and finds the magic of Christmas instead. It's a comedy. It's an alternative holiday fare for the family, and hopefully it's going to go from Chicago to Broadway and then everywhere.
You always kind of had aspirations to take something abroad?
I didn't really have aspirations. I'm a writer. I've written movies. I've written television shows, and inspired by my band Twisted Sisters' Twisted Christmas, I came up with this idea, a story about a band, and then I did Broadway with Rock of Ages. So it just sort of happened. But it never really. Matter of fact, if you told me 30 years ago I'd be doing Broadway, I probably would have punched you in the face. Take it back, man. Take it back. I'm not Broadway. I'm metal.
Well, I think the two honorees tonight would qualify, certainly Joan and Axl. They set the standard for what they do. They're inspiration to future generations of musicians, trailblazing, and relentless in their pursuit of this great music. Well, you just said it, the raw energy and the honesty of it. There's nothing pretentious about it. There's nothing that is preconceived, or there's no plan for hits and singles and sort of the pop culture side of it. It's all about the emotion and the rawness and the honesty of it.
Hey guys, how are you? Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. First off, tell me, you guys, what makes a golden god? What's a golden god in your opinion?
A god that is colored gold. No, it probably signifies some level of acceptance and achievement.
Growing up and an up-and-coming musician, who did you look up to?
Jimi Hendrix, first concert I ever went to.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was pretty darn good.
What about you?
Oh, God. I'd have to give it to Ace Frehley. Ace was always my hero when I was a kid. And all the Kiss guys especially, but Ace for some reason.
What are your thoughts on Kiss getting into the halls?
It's about time. Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, but Nirvana went in on year one. It took Kiss 15 years, which is pretty criminal, but better late than never.
This is the first I've heard of it. I'm sorry I've been out of the loop, but I'm just glad he's getting something because he's a great singer. Yeah, he was actually from close to my hometown of Buffalo originally. And I got some of the old recordings of him before he was the heavy metal guy. It's pretty amazing stuff.
His old stuff with Elf is amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, and the first Roger Glover album. He did a lot of stuff before Rainbow that was just as amazing, and it's been forgotten about, but it's just as amazing.
Now you guys have a dog camp coming up in New York?
We do.
Can you tell me something about what's going on?
Well, we're just going to get together. A lot of people look at the mystery of being in a band and playing in a band and all the things that go with it as an insurmountable mountain. So we're going to try and simplify it for them and explain to them, what we do to get to where we got to go and how we got there and help them along. I think it'll be an enjoyable thing for everyone.
And is there any new music coming out? You guys have any studio music you guys are working on?
We did a new song for the last couple shows. We got together our last rehearsal and threw one together, and there's lots more coming.
Yeah, the focus right now is the touring. We're going to be on tour all spring and all summer, all through America, from now till the end of the summer. So right now that's the focus. We have a new song in the set, but beyond that, focusing on that and the dog camp, and then after that's all done, new album early next year.
Why do you guys connect so well as Winery? What is it that brings you guys together and makes it work?
I think it's reality. We really do what we really do. We sit in a room and play music. It's not configured in some way to have hits or for some ulterior motives. We love to play, and we love to play the type of music we do. And I think the people picked up on it.
It was just three guys wanting to play together and make music together. It wasn't a preconceived, fabricated business decision. It was three guys that just said, hey, man, we could probably make some great music together. Let's give it a shot. And here we are.
Our golden guy.
Holy that's a tough question.
Hard work.
Yeah, hard work.
Hard work.
Yeah.
And passion and conviction.
And a shiny exterior.
Very shiny golden exterior.
Both.
Yes, we're just about to start touring the States on Saturday. We start off in Florida, and we're also working on an album, a second album.
When's the album going to be coming out?
Hopefully 2015.
Yes.
Yeah, early.
Early next year.
And one last question. Can you compare it to anything your last album? Or is it new direction?
It has roots in the last album, but it's definitely something different.
Yes.
Yeah, we're moving into new territory.
Somebody who stands the test of time, does something original, does their own thing, and kicks ass. New record coming out on E1 and Century Media overseas, 27th of May. Just an extension of it, just broadening the spectrum, heavy as just, it's Crowbar 25 years in. It's weird because there's been a lot in the last year or two, maybe 2-3 years, there's been a lot more interest in Crowbar than ever before, which is a great thing, and we appreciate it. So, it's great to be having a new record coming out, great to be here, and just looking forward to having a blast tonight, man.
I always think of the blow-up doll that they brought to that one Warped Tour date or whatever.
It's pretty cool, If Axl Rose shows up on time and performs on time tonight, he deserves the award. If he doesn't, boo.
Well, I think it's somebody that has just, dedicated their career and their life to rock music, and that's what excites me so much about the award show. Is it's really one of the last places where you just see seas and seas of metal lovers and rock lovers, and it's just a great way to celebrate that genre. Yeah, we've been working for about the last year on the new 6 a.m. record, and we've got about 3 or 4 more weeks left. Very, very excited about that. And then we're looking at putting a single out, I think maybe in September. What we did, the Heroin Diaries was the first one. Then we had This Is Gonna Hurt, which came out a couple of years ago. We're constantly growing. What we've done on this record is really tapped more into each of our individual inspirations. What inspired us, and ironically, we found that we had a lot of very similar inspirations when we first started cutting our teeth, in the music biz. But it's also a lot different than the last ones in the sense that we have songs that almost go into a jazz, ragtime type of feel, and we have stuff that's heavier than anything we've done to this point. So it's a very eclectic record. As we know, the crew is getting ready to hang it up, and we discussed for a while, doing a final song, and that's a tall order. That was a lot of pressure on us to make sure that we did it right and that we celebrated everything that they were known for. So I think we've done it. I'm actually tracking drums with Tommy tomorrow, and it's an outstanding song. I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing way to go out swinging.
I don't want to be the one to put it out there, just in case it changes.
Thank you for stopping by. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. So first off, you're performing tonight.
Hopefully.
What do you mean hopefully? Well, what are your thoughts on performing at the Golden Gods tonight?
It's great. I was here last year. I presented a guitar award to the amazing John 5. It was a pleasure. And now I have the privilege to be back and to perform. So it's nice. I'm happy to be here. I'm very happy.
Axel's thoughts on getting that Golden God ring. What does he think about that?
I don't know. Let's see when he gets here. Let's ask him.
He's not going to stop and talk to me, so I got to talk to you.
We make films about rock stars, but we have to.
I haven't asked him. I don't ask. That's like an interview question. I'm not like, Axel, so tell me, what do you think about getting this award? It's just like, hey man, what songs are we doing tonight? You know, it's just, yeah. A lot of the classics, maybe something new, you know. But yeah, you know. Well, he's filling in for Tommy while Tommy is doing the Replacements tour. So Duff was kind enough to join us, and it's great to have that kindling together. It's really nice, yeah. He's a sweetheart. He's a great guy. We jammed when he was with Loaded and doing that back in like 2009. He came through New York and we did a little jamming. And I got to know him then, so it's real nice. Yeah.
Somehow we managed to get along.
I'm working on a new album. I'm working on a new Bumblefoot album, yeah. It's coming out swimmingly. It's coming out fantastic, really good stuff. Digging deep, it's brutal, it's painful, it's like being in labor mentally, spiritually. It's tough, man. I don't know what it's going to sound like by the time it's done. I don't know what it's going to be. It's like throwing paint at the canvas. You don't know until enough paint is down what it's going to be. So, I don't know. At this point, it's just me and my drummer Dennis, and we're going to put it together and build it up from there. Right now, it's in my mind, and I have to get it out before I lose my mind. Yeah.
And how is it working on
Howdy. What's up, buddy? Awesome. How are you? Hi, Doug. I'm Edsel.
See what happens.
Come on in.
Yeah.
He's always vaping, dude. He's on the vape.
I don't know. What do you all think? What's the misconception? What's your misconception?
What's your earliest recollection of music?
My earliest recollection of music? Kiss.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing. The guy, no matter what, he delivers
that's about the demo of all of our ages now.
1,000%. He makes sure no matter what, that he could give it all he's got. Yeah.
Right, I am
Yes.
always at the vaporizer.
Yeah, the Guitar Gods tour.
I think, yes,
It's going to be starting in mid-June to mid-July, going through the U.S. It's Yngwie's creation, Guitar Gods. So it's going to be Yngwie. I'll be playing with my band, doing my music. We got Yuri John Roth. We got Gary Hoey. It's going to be a great lineup, a lot of good guitar stuff going on. Yes.
But I thought it would be too much.
So yeah. So is it possible?
Only around him.
Oh, rock and roll?
Yeah, not really.
Well, I totally understand where Axel's coming from with that. They wanted a sort of, I mean, I can't talk for him and I can't talk for them, but from what it seems like,
really, how big
it would have been great if it could be something that gave tribute to the entire history of the band, to 25 years of the band, but it seemed like they just wanted to honor one segment and leave out a lot of other things. So, whatever, didn't happen.
In the studio making a new record, actually 2 new records. The band is called Dope.
2 records at the same time, huh?
2 records at the same time, like 2 chicks at the same time.
About that, man.
Yeah, we've been gone a while. It's been about 4 years since our last record, so we've just been writing like crazy, going in several different directions, and it's real hard for me to commit. So eventually I'm going to commit to putting records out, and then there'll be 2 of them back to back, and we'll tour the world again and all that good stuff. But
when do you think those albums are going to be out?
Either late this year or early next year.
And what makes the Golden God in your opinion?
I can't answer that. I didn't make it up. I guess it's a metal icon. I guess Zakk Wylde would be the epic one to me because he's a living iconic metal. You should put him on a trophy. He's like a WWE character that plays awesome music. I'm so sorry I talk so loud. Apologize. How are you, buddy? I'm talking about Zakk Wylde. I can't contain myself. He's like a friggin' WWE character with talent, musical talent.
How you doing? This is Andrew Dice Clay. You're listening to Artists and News.
We're just here as
We are performing.
Talk a little bit about performance.
We are going to play around 9:30. We're going to play 2 originals, and we're going to do a Sepultura cover with Max Cavalera.
Yeah.
And we're going to have some fun with it. We're going to headbang, throw down, party. It's going to be great.
Talk a little bit about how did that collaboration come together with Max, and are you guys like huge fans of Sepultura?
We are diehard fans.
Basically, Korn canceled. They called us and said, "Hey, you guys want to play Golden Gods?" We said, "You bet your sweet asses we want to play Golden Gods." And then they said, "You know what? Max Cavalera is going to play a song too." And we said, "Oh, just so happens we know how to play Roots," and that's what we're doing.
Hell yeah!
And so how's it been coming along in rehearsals?
What rehearsals?
We did, yeah. It was still last minute.
Don't get too much time. All right, very cool. So are you like a little nervous not having too many rehearsals to get it on a TV performance kind of thing?
Ah man, we're made for this stuff, man. This is a metal show. We're made of iron, so
I'm feeling pretty good.
We're killing it.
And what's going on with the band next?
We got a tour coming up in Europe in June. We're hitting all the festivals. We're doing Mayhem in July. And we also have a new album coming out called You Can't Stop Me, July 15th.
Talk about that album real fast. Can you compare it to anything you guys have done in the past? New direction?
I can't compare any of our records to each other, really, but this one is...
Our singer passed away a year and a half ago. This is our first record with our brand new singer, Eddie Hermida. It's called You Can't Stop Me because you can't stop us. This is our showing of our resilience towards anything in life, and this is why we are here. We're here because you can't stop us.
Now, you guys have come a long way, actually, since the death of the new singer. How did you guys come to find him? Auditions? Did you always know him? How did that process?
We've known him
auditions.
forever.
We gave him a call. We asked him if he wanted the gig. He was hesitant because it was big shoes to fill.
Yeah. And here I am today.
What's your thoughts when they first initially contacted you?
At first it was just do I do this? Do I not do this? Do I tease these guys? Do I commit to something? Anything that comes along with making a big change in your life, you have to weigh the pros and cons. And I mean, in the end, what really helped me throughout it all is the fact that we're all friends and we all kind of came into the music industry together. So, that helps it all.
Have you done any performances on the tours yet?
We did Soundwave in Australia, and we did Southeast Asia, around 13, 14 shows, but this is our first U.S. appearance with Eddie.
Yep.
So this is a big deal to us, and we're really excited. Yeah. We were just here. I think
we were presenting we were commemorating to all the fallen metal soldiers.
I would say always talk about that.
That's
the best advice.
Well, we played the first Golden Gods, so we performed with the first Golden Gods. We ended up, last year coming here to commemorate towards everybody that had passed away in 2012. It was very bittersweet because we were able to go on stage, but also Jeff Hanneman from Slayer died the same day, which was just extremely brutal. And now we're here. The next year we have our new singer. We're stoked to be playing, and it's basically a surprise to us. And it's all. We're here. We're stoked. So
congratulations, guys. I look forward to seeing the performance.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. So you guys are here actually as fans for the Golden Gods tonight?
Yeah. We're doing the after party tomorrow night as well.
Talk about that.
There's a show at Club Loaded in Hollywood. Free show tomorrow night. Bunch of good bands. We're gonna be headlining it tomorrow and kind of keep the festivities going.
So what makes a Golden God in your opinion?
What makes a Golden God? I mean, I guess it's somebody that has to embody everything that the hard rock and metal community stands for, So, I mean, for us anyways, I think the perspective is kind of music above all. So, the career, the music that they made is most important, but then aside from that, it's kind of this larger than life thing. Yeah. Like a Lemmy or a Dio or somebody like that, Ozzy, stuff like that, where they've kind of ascended into another category. Yeah, well, we've been in the studio for a few months. We've been making a record with Mike Klink. Speaking of Guns tonight, playing, and really excited about the new tracks. So we're gonna put it out later this year. Go on tour and the whole nine.
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
All right. So you guys are performing tonight. Talk a little bit about that. Huge, no?
Yeah, it's our first time playing an award show, or actually being at an award show ever. So should be cool. Playing 3 songs and. Should be a good time.
What songs are you guys going to perform tonight?
Right Back at It Again, End of Me, and All I Want.
I mean, we thought it was pretty cool because we've never done one, so you know, it's pretty overwhelming being here, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. We are.
Yep.
We actually just put out a new record. It's called Common Courtesy, and we're in a lawsuit with our label. So we actually self-funded and released it independently during that lawsuit, and our fan base completely supported the whole thing. It went on to be one of the fastest selling records we've ever had. So,
Are you guys okay with the lawsuit settlement in hindsight?
I mean, it hasn't settled, so it's kind of just going on in the background, but we were able to put it out, and our fan base supported it. So we wouldn't be a band right now without it. So.
Absolutely. Now, what are you most proud about the last album? It seems like there was a lot going on at that time. What are you most proud about?
Just that we made it in general, got it out. Number one, when we started making the album, it was just to get the album out, and we were able to do that. And like I said, the fan base really rallied behind it and supported us. So.
Who's more deserving of the Rock Hall in your opinion, Nirvana or Kiss?
Oh man!
You can't do that to us.
Both. They both deserve it.
Apples and oranges. You know? Yeah, man.
They both deserve it.
Yeah, they both deserve it. I'm glad they both got in too. So.
What's going on with you guys the rest of the year? Tours? What's happening for the rest of the year?
We're touring South America, a few dates in Mexico. And then we're about to announce a U.S. headliner near the end of the year. Other than that, I'm not sure.
What's the craziest thing a fan has done with your fans has done at a show or backstage or anywhere?
Craziest thing a fan's done that comes to mind. I always think of the blow-up doll that they brought to that one Warped Tour date or whatever. And they were crowd surfing it.
Yeah.
Just weird stuff.
We have a blow-up doll as a fan.
You're also nominated for vocalist as well?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
I mean, it's crazy. Like we were saying, it's awesome that we're even included. We're not as much in the metal world as 99% of the other people here. So it's just cool to be included.
If you could nominate yourself, who would you nominate for that category? Best vocalist.
Wow. I can't even think.
I always really liked Danny from Asking Alexandria. I think his voice is really killer.
Danny's great. So it's metal. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
Corey Taylor, he's probably already won it.
He has. He's won it. Corey Taylor's great. That's a good answer.
Any special guests jumping on stage with you tonight?
We do not. Nobody, just us.
Yeah.
Thank you most for talking about it.
Hey man, thank you.
Axl is a totally one of a kind.
A riot happened. They broke $1 million soundboard.
And it was just great seeing a band like that because it was just so pure.
Actually, it's. I grew up in a school system in Seattle that had great music programs, and it was in the 70s, you know, and they were funded. Great teachers, and my next oldest brother came out of that too and became a music teacher. He's a music teacher here. He won the Holland's Opus Award about 7 years ago, and I've seen him go through school and start teaching. He's taught at the same school, raise money for the music program there, kind of single-handedly. It's a public school, and in Agora, but he has one of the biggest jazz middle school programs in the country. So he's really inspirational. It's really not even anything about music, because music comes from your heart and from other places that I can't teach it. But it's about sticking to it, and if you're going to have a band member, have communication and practice more. And if you say you're going to be someplace and do a gig and be at soundcheck at 5, be there at 5. And, just kind of the simple things right now. And she just started playing gigs. She's played 7 gigs. Yeah, the music part just got sorted out. She really she writes better songs than I do. You know, really great songs.
You know, it was cool because of the fact that there were a lot of uncomfortable moments in it. Well, there was just moments that normally you would edit that out, but I said leave it in because it struck a nerve, and even my nerve went you know. But you got to tell the story. You can't salve it over. You have to give the real story. you know.
Last question, actually. What are your thoughts on Axl Rose getting the Ronnie James Dio Award tonight? What makes him such a good artist?
Well, you know, I mean, like anybody else, Axl is a totally one of a kind. You know, I mean, we took them out on their first tour, and I've been a friend of Axl's since they've been a band, but I've been a friend of Slash too. I'm kind of in the middle of both of them, but I haven't seen Axl in 20 years, so it'll be great to see him tonight. Yeah, thank you.
We just finished a crazy year touring with Mayhem and Danzig and Lamb of God and Europe states. Now we're going out to festivals in June, and then we're working on a brand new record.
Hey, I gotta get you, Kobe, real fast.
A golden god would be Lemmy Kilmister. Because he has the integrity and the stamina and the longevity, and I think that really is what plays into all of this. Because everything's a flash in the pan, especially with metal. You know, I've understood that we're going to put in for the long haul.
You know who my teachers were?
I am. Well, two things. I'm presenting an award with Dave Navarro for Best Live Band, and also my band is up for the Best Film and Video for our video Zenith, directed by Phil Mucci.
Let's talk about that. What would an award of Golden God mean for you?
Well, I feel like it would it's very significant for placing us with the gods, of course. But I feel like we have to earn it a little bit more, you know? We're up against Lamb of God, which we toured with all last year. And I feel like at this point, you know, it takes a lot of longevity. It takes like proving yourself to people. So it's Lamb of God, Metallica, Behemoth, bands we admire. So just to be placed at those bands, it means a lot to us.
Now, what's going on with you the rest of the year? Back in the studio or just touring?
No, we're in the studio right now. We're recording our next record. That's 3 albums in 3 years. It's a little bit unheard of.
Talk to me about that, actually. What can fans expect? Can you compare it to the last album or a new direction?
Well, with us, it's all about the maiden, the mother, and the crone. You know, keeping it occult based. So
sorry, guys.
It's really DJ, you have to come back. Wow, it's wild here. But anyhow, we'll be putting out the new record very soon, and 3 albums, 3 years. That was the goal.
Did you ever envision that was success?
Of course, I've seen it all.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you very
much.
much.
Have a great night. First off, talk a little about the Golden Gods. What's your thoughts on Axl Rose getting the Ronnie James Dio Award? Couldn't figure 2 different guys, right? I mean,
Hold on, what's happening?
Axl's getting the Ronnie James Dio Award. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's pretty cool, you know. If Axl Rose shows up on time and performs on time tonight, he deserves the award. If he doesn't, boo.
And you're also performing tonight, right?
No, I'm presenting an award for Best New Talent.
Yeah, who do you think would be up for that winning now?
Well, I think it's like Scar the Martyr, Issues, Heaven's Basement. That's the band I want to win, Heaven's Basement. I'm backing them. They're great. They're great.
Let's talk a little about how's the new album coming along?
New album's going great. We've been in Las Vegas for the last 2.5 months working with Kevin Churko on the new record, and it is amazing. I'm telling you, like, this new music is just so inspiring, and I showed up there with 1 chorus written. I wasn't really prepared, you know, and once I got to Vegas, man, a floodgate had opened, and the music just poured out of me, and it's been such a great experience.
Just as broken as me. What inspired that song?
That song is about forgiving someone when you really don't want to forgive them, but you know that it's the best thing to do.
Can you believe it's been 15 years since the Infest album?
Oh yeah, it trips me out, man. We're coming up on the 15-year anniversary this next year, and we're talking about doing something special for that too, so it'll be interesting to see what we do, but it's awesome to look back and know that we have a classic record that, you know, really affected music. We became the fabric of, you know, rock and roll, early 2000s, and we've been around since, so it's a great feeling.
What's been the biggest challenge in getting the new material out?
No, she came out for a special.
Just writing it, essentially, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's it, you know, just trying to... We are our own worst critics, you know, so we're very hard on ourselves, so sometimes it takes us longer than we like to create records, but this new stuff, man, it's flowing like... It's flowing like, I don't know what it's flowing like, but it's flowing.
Have you ever envisioned you have this much success, this last this long?
No. I never even thought I'd be successful, period. You know? God had a different plan for me, dude. He's like, yo, Kobe, bam, here you go.
Most of the time I figured out how to
Congratulations
play
on that
guitar
plan,
and
man,
sing
and your success. I appreciate you stopping by.
Arigato.
Thank you.
So yeah, I made a record that my mom will hate.
You know, I was frustrated, but you know, I guess they just didn't want to pay the union costs, you know.
We had a whole bunch of crazy happening. We can't tell you right now.
Well, I think there was 6 categories, maybe. I think it was like best bass player, best guitarist, best singer. Help me. Best album of the year,
song of the year, most dedicated fans.
Most dedicated fans.
You ever envisioned you'd have this many nominations in one award show?
No, that's a lot.
I thought we'd probably have a couple more actually.
Yeah, best oral hygiene. Yeah.
Is there best beard.
Well, certainly, I think best guitar player would be special.
That's only because Dimebag's not here anymore. So I mean, that's the only reason that's even an issue. No, I mean, it's nice to have most dedicated fans. That's what I'm looking forward to. Our fans have been extremely supportive, still buying records in a time when a lot of people aren't buying records right now. So I'm pulling for the fans on this one.
And now what's going on with you guys the rest of the year? Back in the studio, touring? What's going to happen?
We had a whole bunch of crazy happening. We can't tell you right now.
We're putting together a fall tour that has taken a while to put it together, but it's going to be the biggest tour of the fall.
Guaranteed.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Biggest tour. I know you can't tell me who's going to be a part of it. I get that. But what makes that band or that group of bands special?
Well, it's about trying to get a package of like the hottest bands at the moment. And it's hard because everybody has their own idea about what they want to do. But we actually pulled it off, and it's going to be a hit.
Have any Axl Rose memories?
My mom wanted me to play the clarinet.
Yeah, I don't know if
I was learning the clarinet.
I don't think I've ever met Axl. I think we did a show together, but you know we missed each other. I'm good friends with Slash though.
What about Joan Jett? Where are you?
Very good friends with Joan. I mean, I go way back with Joan. We did shows together when she was in the Runaways and I was performing with Kiss back in the early 70s. So Joan's got an attitude and a vitality that, you know, just doesn't quit. And, you know, last week at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, she kicked ass. And she's still doing it.
Let's look back on that for you. How was that?
That was a very special night, you know. I was supposed to perform that night. I was supposed to do Highway to Hell with Bruce and the East Street Band, and they went overtime and they decided to cut it. You know, but I'm glad I hung around to see Joan perform because she killed it.
What were your thoughts when they killed that performance? I mean, that sounds like it would have been legendary.
Well, you know, I was frustrated, but, you know, I guess they just didn't want to pay the union costs, you know, because it was way overtime.
Now, how was it to interact with everybody and see all the old faces again?
Well, you know, thank God. Luckily, everybody was on their best behavior, and, you know, the vibe was pretty cool.
Did Paul ever apologize for calling you anti-Semitic in the book?
Oh, no. No, Paul's trying to make headlines. He's trying to sell a book, you know. I don't take anything Paul says or Gene personal.
Are you working on another book?
Yes, I'm working on No Regrets 2. That's the working title.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, it's just going to be a continuation. You know, once I finish that first book, the floodgates open. You know, all the memory cells.
Stuff you forgot.
My memory cells are, you know, starting to be regenerated after 7.5 years sober. So I got tons of more stories, and it's going to be just as good or a better book.
Do you think all the attacks on you like make the fans pull for you more?
You know, I don't take sides, and I'm not keeping score. You know, I just do what I do, and hopefully people get it.
Was there any talk of any reconciliation at all? Or was that just...
We didn't have time. You know, like we made our speeches, we went backstage, took some photos, and Paul and Gene took off. And so did Peter. I didn't even get a chance to talk to any of them after that.
And now what's going on with you the rest of the year as far as besides the book? Studio?
Well, I have a new album coming out June 24 called Space Invader on E1. It's going to be a real good record. You know, it's the follow-up to Anomaly, and I'm real excited about it. There's some good songs, and I also did a remake of Steve Miller's The Joker, which is going to be the first single.
Do you have any special guests on the album at all? Or
Not at this juncture. You know, I'm probably saving the special guests for my next record, which is going to be an album of all remakes and covers. We're going to get some special guests on that record, and you know, I'm not sure about the release date on that. Probably maybe Christmas time.
Did you ever envision you make it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and what does that honor mean to you?
It felt great. It was a special honor. It was a special night. You know, I'm glad that somehow we sorted out our differences. You know, I would have been more happy about the whole thing if we would have been able to perform. But, you know, that didn't happen. But, you know.
Last question for me. Do you see a lot of the up-and-coming young bands, you know, wearing the masks and wearing the makeup and getting a lot of the inspiration from something you guys started? What's your thoughts on that, like knowing that you guys started?
Well, you know, we didn't really start it. We just took it to another level. You know, we were inspired by groups like Alice Cooper and The Who theatrical rock groups, and we just took it to another level. And that's the way rock and roll is. Everybody influences everybody else. You take a little from this guy, a little from that guy. I took from Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Jimi Hendrix, and then you get Ace Frehley. What are you gonna do?
So first off, last year I believe you all won an award.
Yes.
What was that like for you? What does that mean?
That was a major award for me, and I'm still a Golden God for a few more hours. I got Best Guitarist, so one of the biggest honors. I really am fortunate, and I'm really happy. We're up for Best Live Band, and we hopefully we're going to win, and we're keeping all our fingers and toes crossed, and it's going great.
And now, what would a Golden God award mean to you?
It'll be the first, but not the last.
First, but not the last. Yeah. What's going on the rest of the year with Zombie? Back in the studio or touring?
We have a DVD coming out May 20th, the first DVD Zombie's ever done in White Zombie or Rob Zombie career. Then we did a book that's coming out May 20th that comes with it. Then we're going on tour Friday, so we have a lot, and we're working on a new record right now.
So talk to me about the book.
Yes.
What can fans expect?
It's a book of the tour. It's amazing. All the pictures from the tour. It's incredible. And then I also have a record coming out called Careful with That Axe, another instrumental record. And the first single will drop around the end of July.
And then Zombie's also working on an album as well?
Zombie goes to work on a record as well. We're already working on it. So
how's it coming along so far?
Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible.
What's it like working with Rob?
I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm telling you, I wouldn't have it any other way. I get offers all the time, and it's the best in the world.
A riot happened. They broke $1 million soundboard.
You can't do it without fans. So, well, technically I could still write songs in my bedroom, but we wouldn't get to tour the world and play to all of them. So it's pretty awesome.
So yeah, I made a record that my mom will hate.
And it was just great seeing a band like that because it was just so pure.
Hi, this is Melina Moy, and you're watching Artists and News.
Hello again, Zakk. Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Oh my.
She makes me want to be a woman.
First off, how was the Hendrix?
It was great.
Talk a little bit about that.
Knowledge is power.
Oh, the Hendrix thing? Oh, it was awesome, man. I mean, no, you're just hanging out with a whole bunch of other guitar players that you love, that you're fans of anyways, you know what I mean? So between Eric Johnson, Eric Kael was out there, so awesome guy, and then, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Johnny Lang out there, Brad Whitford.
Has it brought you to the guitar when you were a young kid?
Well, no, so, I mean, a lot of the cats are either my age. I mean, some of the guys are a little bit older, but I mean, no, it's just, it's just one fraternity and everybody hanging out, celebrating Jimmy's life and his, and his music.
Did they ever find your guitar?
Now, blue balls are still missing. Well, our tour manager didn't lock the tour bus, so yeah. Yeah, so Andy, so I rib him all the time, I mean, it's just dude, make sure you lock your house, you know what I mean? You gotta lock. There's two things you learn immediately, kids. You lock the tour bus, and you don't crap on the tour bus. There's two things you gotta remember. No, it came in, I guess, #1 rock record, they told me, and #5 and overall in Billboard, so, and they tell me that payola doesn't work anymore nowadays. Well, yeah, screw them, it definitely works. It's results, it's achievements. No, but just to me, it just goes to show you our Black Label family's getting bigger and bigger, and the steroids are working.
Does that mean anything to you? Album charts, placements, all that kind of stuff? Does that mean anything?
Well, no, I guess it's cool, but I mean, to me, it just goes to show you, like I said, our Black Label family's getting bigger and stronger every day.
Axel's getting the award tonight. Do you have any history with Axel, any memories of jams or tours with Axel?
Yeah, I mean, we went out with him not too long ago, and we were doing, I'd get up and jam a whole lot of Rosie with the guys every night, so no, it's a good time. I've known Axel for a bit, and he's a great guy, and obviously legendary front man and the whole 9 yards.
Now, Axel, what makes Joan Jett special? Are you a fan of Joan?
Well, I never met Joan, but yeah, definitely she's a legendary female artist for sure, man. Well, just, artist in general, you know what I mean, so.
Now, what's coming up next for the rest of the year?
Well, just a lot of touring, basket weaving, crochet, bingo, yes, and man's lingerie, yeah, the whole 9 yards.
Thanks for
Cheers,
by.
brother.
I appreciate it.
You got it.
Thank you, Mark. Nice to meet you. DJ, how are you? Thanks for stopping by, you guys. Let me just ask you guys are performing tonight. What are your thoughts on performing for the Golden Gods?
We're excited to follow Zakk.
Zakk was nice enough to come here and be our bodyguard tonight while we do this interview.
Yeah.
We're with the Black Label thing.
I talked a little with Ron earlier, about Axl getting the award. Have you guys talked to him about getting this prestigious Golden God?
I spoke to him a little bit about the other night. He's not a big fan of awards in general when it comes to music. I've never met anybody with that much musical integrity. Like, he's the only guy I've ever seen in this business that refuses to do things solely for money, and I have a lot of respect for him for that. It's been fantastic.
It's been great for the fans. It's great to share a stage with Duff. I mean, he's such a nice dude and great guy, and
great to spend time with him. He's really a fantastic human.
Actually, Kiss just went through kind of like the same thing that happened with the Rock Hall with you guys not performing. Can you kind of relate to everything that happened with Kiss?
I didn't even know about it. We were on tour. I didn't show up.
Yeah, we didn't go.
Oh, you didn't even go?
No, we didn't go.
Briefly touched on the new album. Can you give me a little bit of update on how it's sounding? Can you compare it to the last one?
There was a lot of stuff that was. We've recorded basically like 3 albums worth of material over the last 15 years. So there's a lot of old stuff that we're sort of retooling and bringing up, as well as throwing out new ideas and things like that.
What is it about Axl? People maybe don't understand him. What's the biggest misconception about Axl?
That he's a dick. He's actually a really solid dude, and but like I said, he's got more integrity than anybody I've met, and he believes it's all about the music. It's not about
5-6 songs, and they're like, yeah. So
let people talk. It's just about the music. That's what
working on a 6 a.m.?
Yeah, are you?
Yeah, it's done. We finished it. Really good, really good. I'm excited about it. I think we're shooting to have it out towards the end of this year or like January of 2015. So. No, 2 different people.
James
Both great
is actually
guys.
the leader.
Yeah, James is the leader.
James is the band leader?
No, James is.
Thanks for stopping by, you guys.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm up for a bassist 2 years running, so, fingers crossed, but it's a pleasure to be nominated,
What's your thoughts on the nomination? It's an award. Does it mean anything to you, or is it an award for you?
Look, man, the fans mean everything to me. That's what it's all about to me. So I'm presenting tonight, I believe that's what I'm doing, for the Fans Band Award. So, yeah, man, it's just a pleasure to be here. We just got back from Australia, so I'm a little jet lagged, but, hey, man, rock and roll.
What's going on with you?
We have plans upon plans upon plans to. There's all kinds of stuff in the works as we're talking. So we're going out and playing the Rock on the Ranges, stuff like that. All that, the festivals that go on in May. So we're touring with Johnny. Yeah, we went and killed it over in Australia, man. It was awesome. And open up for. Johnny just is bringing in such this, love Vinny. Vinny just had a lot of stuff he had to deal with, and it's very amicable where everything's cool. It's just, I need to have a drummer. Johnny's been a good friend for years, and man, it's just, I've just been blessed so many times with great drummers. I'm just, I know who you are out there, baby.
Yeah, we do. But when it comes down,
we put a Pantera song into the set, and something I said I wouldn't do for a very long time. So, you check it out. It's out there. Not a really good quality version. Somebody handheld him, but it's something. You can't forget the past. You want to bring it, and I thought that would be a good. The song we're playing is a good song. So I don't want to give it away, but.
So yeah, I made a record that my mom will hate.
You can't do it without fans. So, well, technically I could still write songs in my bedroom, but we wouldn't get to tour the world and play to all of them. So it's pretty awesome.
It actually doesn't feel any different because Sarah and I just have such a grounded relationship. So being, you know, what's good is that, you know, we actually are legally married. You know what I mean? That's the mind. Like, wow, we're actually legally married, and you know, we went and got a license, everything. So that's exciting because it just shows you how far we've come, but it's taken a long time, but we've come a very long way. So that part's really exciting. Other than that, I love her. It doesn't feel any different in the relationship. It's more like, oh, okay, great, that's done.
None of this is actually bringing on the ball back for. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I do this event called An Evening with Women for the LA Gay and Lesbian Center, and it's May 10th. I do it every year. It's at the Beverly Hilton. It's a pretty big event. Last year I had Ozzy Osbourne, Sia, and Natasha Bedingfield, and so I was like, how am I going to top that, you know? And I was feeling, I was feeling a little nostalgic, and I'm like, you know what would be cool? Never in a million years would I have thought I've done this, but I was like, it would be cool to put the band, you know, call For Non-Blondes, have a reunion, and do a one night only with a few songs, and that's it.
Jane's is actually doing our album Nothing Shocking in its entirety. It's been 25 years since it came out, so May 8, 9, and 10 we're going to be in Las Vegas performing the whole album top to bottom, and then a few extra selections, and that's what's going on.
What do you remember about the recording sessions from Nothing Shocking?
I don't remember much. 25 years ago. Yeah.
It was a groundbreaking album.
Thank you.
What's it like still working with Perry and Steve?
What's it like?
Why do you guys connect so much? What is it about you guys that makes it so special?
Because all of us love the music we make together.
What makes a golden god in your opinion? If I hate him?
Well, you got all the great rock stars of, you know, the last 20 years. You know, and, you know, for me it's an honor tonight because I'm getting to bring on Axl and his band, you know, which I'm a little nervous about because, you know, I got a long history with them. And the last time I introduced them at the Rose Bowl, I screwed that intro up. Well, you know what? When it's friends of yours, you want to do it right. You know, it's not like nerves, like I'm scared. It's just I want to do the right thing.
So you're friends with Axl.
So my teachers are the greats.
You know what? Axl is a very intricate guy, obviously. But any real artist is on a tilt. I mean, you know, to some people I'm considered a great artist, and if you talk to my family, they'll go, yeah, he's a little off. You know, you have to be a little off to do what we do. Well, I have a project I'm not supposed to talk about yet because it wasn't announced yet. But it is a Scorsese thing, and I have my autobiography coming out from Simon & Schuster called The Filthy Truth. It's coming out early November. You know, so that's my story.
Way too many people getting into music.
I haven't worked with them yet. I haven't worked with them yet. That's why I'm not talking much about it.
When you started out, did you ever envision you have this much?
Believe me, I do a lot of stuff without substance.
Well, you know what? I've had incredible highs, incredible lows. Right now I'm on a tremendous high again. You know, from Entourage to Blue Jasmine to a new special to a book, you know, to 30 weeks at the Hard Rock this year, because I don't want to tour that much. So I make Vegas like my home.
And how's the book? How was that process for you to like?
Brutal.
Yeah.
Doing a book is brutal. I don't know if I'd ever do another one because it's very hard to do like cliff notes of your own life. And I work with a great writer, David Ritz, who's done everybody from Etta James to Ray Charles to just finished, oh damn, why is his name escaping me? Perry from Aerosmith. What's that?
Joe Perry.
Yeah, from Aerosmith. He's done over 40 of these, so we worked together on it. And it's a difficult process, but it came out pretty great.
I have never won a Golden Gods. I have been outvoted through popularity. I've been up for it 3 times.
Are you up for it again?
I am.
What would a Golden God finally mean to you?
Oh, well, a Golden God wouldn't mean so much to me as much as it would mean to heavy metal. And basically, I'm here to represent death to false metal. And as far as I'm concerned, people that win it before me, even the other nominees, they're not metal. I'm sorry, that they don't crush skulls like me. You don't see any of them at Maryland Death Fest. they're not metal.
So what's been the holdup? Why have you not won yet?
It's a popularity contest, man. I could throw anybody in there if they've got enough Twitter followers or whatever. But for me, you know, being famous, being popular, that's not why I'm a fighter. That's not why I like metal. And metal by nature, especially more of the extreme brands like black metal, death metal, I mean, they'll play in front of a room of 15 people. They don't care. They've got something to say. Most people aren't going to like it, but it's not for them. It's for themselves.
Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Good luck. Good luck.
This year, Jones Jett is a Golden God.
And Axl, do you have any history or any memories of performing or touring with Axl?
We've never toured together. I did see Guns N' Roses when they played the Ritz the first ever time in New York. That first tour through, and it was amazing. That album hadn't broke big yet, and they played the Ritz, and it was kind of like you could see I mean, you couldn't see that they were going to become that big, but going to that show, because I was already a fan, I was like, wow, this band's great. You know, so I got to see them early on before it all blew up, and you know, and it was just great seeing a band like that because it was just so pure.
How's the spoken word tour been for you? Like in hindsight, looking back, maybe you're in the middle of it, but how has that spoken word?
It was great. I love. Give me a stage and a microphone and tell me I'm allowed to talk to people for 3 hours, and I will. So I've got enough crap to talk about. So, and I've been having a lot of fun doing it. It's become something that's really interesting for me, and it's like an old dog learning a new trick. I've really learned something new performance-wise, so I'm just having a lot of fun with it.
Now, are you still working on Pearl's album right now, or where is that?
Yep, we're almost finished. Almost finished with that, and we also just did an album together with a band called Mother Superior. Jim Wilson.
First off, let's talk about your album. When do you expect it to be out?
I don't know.
This year,
next year?
Next year.
Yeah, I think next year.
And for fans that might not be familiar with the sound, what can you how can you describe it?
We're calling this California Country.
And how is it working with your husband and Scott in the studio? Is it a different dynamic, or how is that feel?
For me, it's fantastic. We're a great team. You know.
Yeah, I love getting to play with her and getting to be a part of it. I'm not as much a part of this one as previous ones, but because I don't know, the style is just different, and we found people that it's really more their thing, you know, the sound of this record. But I do play quite a bit of rhythm guitar on it.
And then you're also in you said another side project band that you're performing as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, a band called Mother Superior, which was a guy named Jim Wilson's band, who's also Pearl's songwriting partner.
It is his band still.
Yeah, Anyway, long story short, for my 50th birthday, my present to myself was I cherry-picked my favorite Mother Superior songs. Pearl threw a party at our house. We invited 15 or 20 of our friends. I put a band together, and we played those songs in our jam room.
And included Jim Wilson, the original.
You know, his band, his songs, and he's in it singing and playing guitar. And we got Johnny Tempesta on drums from The Cult, and Joey Vera from Armored Saint on bass, and Pearl's also singing in it. And we had such a blast doing that. Next thing you know, we signed a deal with Metal Blade, and we recorded the album. So that's coming out later this year.
Hopefully.
Hopefully we'll get to do some shows.
I think so. Yeah.
Any time for Anthrax for the rest of the year too? Or?
Of course, yeah. It never stops.
What's going on with that?
We've got 16, 17 songs now, maybe, in some state of, being finished. We've just been writing since September, I think, of last year. We leave next month for Europe at the end of the month for 6 or 7 weeks to play festivals. We'll be back in July, and that's when we'll probably start recording the record.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, I made a record that my mom will hate.
You can't do it without fans. So, well, technically I could still write songs in my bedroom, but we wouldn't get to tour the world and play to all of them. So it's pretty awesome.
What's a golden god in your opinion? What makes a golden god?
Every time I hear the words golden god, I just think of I think of the guy from the movie what was it called? American. What was it?
Hustle?
No, I'm a golden god. I think of that scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I looked up.
No, that was a Robert Plant thing, right?
No, it's like I am a golden god, and he passes out into the pool or whatever.
It's on the roof.
Yeah, that's what I think of.
So let's talk about the new single, actually. Guilty All the Same.
I think
It's
if it
connected
wasn't
with the
for
fans.
him,
Talk
I could
about
actually
that
say,
inspiration for that track.
I don't know that.
Well, that was one of the early tracks on we have our new record's called The Hunting Party. Hunting Party will be out on July 17th here in the States, and the early demos when we started writing, they were alternative rock, indie alternative stuff. Like, I think it was kind of a thing where I was making a lot of demos that sounded like what I was listening to, and there was a day where I started listening to it and I just went like, why am I doing this? This is no good. Like, the bands that are doing this type of music are doing a great job at it. I like listening to it. That genre is full. I have tons of stuff to listen to when I'm over there. But then there are days when I wake up and I'm looking for something heavier to listen to, something visceral, high energy that doesn't sound like the Disney Channel. And I'm like, where's that music? I can't find it. And there was a certain version of it, a certain brand that comes from certain reference points and liking bands like, in our case, like Refused and Helmet and Rakim and all these other different weird things that when you put them together, it just has its own flavor, and that's what the record became. Yeah, I think that's okay to say, but it's a bit it's a bit confusing. We've talked about that in the sense that the music that we grew up on, that we listened to before we ever made Hybrid Theory, was music that sounded like this. Like, this was like stuff that I listened to and gravitated towards when I was like a teenager. And in fact, that was one of the conversations we had was with Brad and Rob and different guys in the band to say, like, get in touch with you. Like, what did you want as a 14-year-old? What you wanted as a 14-year-old wasn't to make the kind of music you were making like right now, meaning like Living Things, 1,000 Suns, our last few records. When you were 14, when Brad was 14, all he wanted to do was be in Metallica. That's all he wanted. I asked him, what was your favorite band? He said, Metallica. I said, what's your other favorite bands? Like, what else did you listen to? He said, Metallica. And that was like his mindset, right? Truth be told, he was listening to a lot of like thrash metal and stuff like that. But when it came to like making this record, we did go back to that mind state and say, like, not only tap into that excitement, but tap into like what was not cool to you at that age too. What would have been a no-no? And for me, I knew what that was. Like, I listened to the type of rap music that my mom would not buy me. I had to go sneak out and get it or tape it for my friends or whatever because it was off limits. And that's what I liked. And so yeah, I made a record that my mom will hate.
You talk about actually Darren Malakian. He's collaborated on the album as well. How did that collaboration come about?
Well, there are several times during the record where we, kind of would come to a point where, for example, with Guilty All the Same, it was like we knew on that bridge that Mike wanted to rap there. We felt like there should be rapping there. That was
but then
like,
I didn't want to. I wanted to, but I didn't want to.
And Mike was like, yeah, but I don't know if it should be me. Like, I just don't know if it should be me. Like, it would be cool if it was someone like Rakim would be awesome. And one of our guys goes, I know someone in his team. You want me to call his camp and see if I can make something happen? It was like all of a sudden, a month later, he's there, and it was, we would talk about bands that we appreciated, and System came up, and it was like, why don't we call Darren and see like if you would want to come in and maybe write on something that we've done or work on something new. And we reach out, and every time we did that, it worked out.
Darren was exceptional too.
Mike,
Darren, he's just such a great songwriter. He has such a great flavor. Like, the flavor that he comes with when he writes a song is so cool. And then I know that once we started singing on it, it was like, whoa, this is now like not like him, and it's not like us. It's kind of got its own thing. That song is called Rebellion.
Who's more Rock Hall worthy, like Kiss or Nirvana?
Oh,
Nirvana.
Wow. That's crazy, yeah. Well, Kiss wasn't really my style. Like, that's more theatrical and whatever. I always gravitated towards the stuff that's a little more like grimy, and that's just me. But there's something. A lot of people like the more theatrical stuff. and people do it in different ways. Whether you're talking about, Kiss or like Marilyn Manson
if you're gonna
or
go
like
shock rocker,
Muse.
If you're gonna go shock rocker, I would say Alice Cooper, by far, over Kiss.
Well,
But yeah, I mean that's a taste thing. It's like,
and I think it's really important.
for me personally, Nirvana had a bigger impact on me, so I would choose Nirvana. Now, whether that matters to anybody else doesn't really matter.
Speaking of impact, like how was STP? They had an impact on me growing up.
Yeah. It's fun, yeah, it's fun. It's really great to go out and play music that I grew up listening to and I love playing, and it's great to be around guys who are really talented and have a lot to teach me and think, so it was great making new music. We're going to be making more music in the future and having a great time. Thanks.
Have a good day, Bob. Good to see you again. Good to see you, man. Say, what makes a golden god in your opinion, man? What's a golden god?
A golden god is Andy McCoy from Hanoi Rocks, or Lemmy from Motorhead, or Eddie Vedder, even. Well, it's mellower, but he's been rocking since day one. Iggy Pop for sure.
So Bam's badass game show, man. When can we see that?
It aired April 11th, I believe, and every Monday at 10:30, right after Family Guy, I believe.
What's the wildest thing somebody's going to see on there?
Well, one episode I was testing this phone booth that had all this money in it, and when I blow a fan, this fan blows with all this money, I say, Novak, my buddy, however much you can catch, and when I stop the fan, you can keep. So he had a whole bunch of money, and he's like, hell yeah, give me a kiss through the phone booth. And he puts his lips up, and I just punch it and knock his tooth down his throat. And he was not too pleased about that.
I know you're a big Guar fan as well. What's your thoughts on Dave's passing?
Yeah, that totally sucks. Our bus driver for Face Unstoppable also tours with all the Guar dudes, and yeah, I got that news the next day from the bus driver, and we're supposed to do the barbecue and all that in Virginia, and I don't know if that's gonna happen anymore. So,
So where's that at right now?
the book?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Brandon Novak wrote that, and he's actually just got out of rehab. So, 60 days clean. Cheers on Novak, and. Yeah, for once, it's the first time he ever asked to go. It was always his mom putting him in, or girlfriend. So this time he wanted to go, so hopefully it works.
Now, are you a fan of Axl Rose? Have you had any chance to meet him? And what's your thoughts on him getting a golden god?
Well, CKY, my brother's band, toured with him, and it was the tour that Axl decided to just simply not show up to a massive venue because I think he wanted to see a football game instead. And a riot happened. They broke $1 million soundboard, and then CKY was the only band that played. Then once Guns N' Roses didn't play, everybody had a riot and smashed windows and whatnot.
Would you have been in that riot, smashing windows?
If I was there, I definitely would have filmed it.
What's going on with you the rest of the year, man?
I just did a movie called I Needed Time to Stay Useless. I've been spending 7 months doing this thing, and it's basically the story of my life. Finding a skateboard when I was 7, and then getting sponsored, Jackass starting, and then my best friend Dunn dies. I go on a little bit of a booze bender. But it's got everything: comedy, action, drama, you name it, it's got it.
Did you ever envision that you guys and that whole crew, that Jackass crew, would ever have that much success and make that much of an impact?
I was hoping it would, and it did, but kind of like a light switch, all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, it was like overnight, everybody from high school wanted to be my friend when I quit the next day. I couldn't take it anymore.
Is there any more plans for Jackass, like 4 or 5, 6? What's going on with that?
I alone have a whole bunch of ideas, enough for maybe a movie, and I know that Knoxville and Tremaine are always writing, so I guess we'll see. I know Knoxville's busy doing a whole bunch of movies right now. So.
What's it like working with Knoxville? What's the biggest misconception people might have about Johnny Knoxville?
He's just gnarly, when we're filming stuff with bulls, I'm terrified. I'm thinking about it 2 days beforehand, what am I gonna do if the hoof lands on me? Knoxville just walks in laughing and hit me, So he's pretty damn gnar.
Hi, this is Melina Moy, and you're watching Artisan News.
So first off, tell me, how was the Hendrix tour? I just saw
Sure.
Zakk. Was he on the
Sure,
tour?
of course. I love Zakk. Oh my God. Zakk is, first of all, he's incredible. I learned so much from him, but he is amazing. The Hendrix tour was wonderful. Zakk, obviously, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Dweezil Zappa, Buddy Guy. I mean, on and on. Johnny Lang. So it was so much fun.
What was it like, when they first approached you to be a part of that? What were your initial thoughts?
Well, this is, my second time actually going out with the Hendrix tour. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Jimmy, so I know John and Janie Hendrix very well. And they saw me performing one night with, Bootsy Collins a couple years ago at NAMM, and they were like, you know what, we have to get you on this particular event, the show. I said, yeah. Next thing I know, it was, we've been doing it. I've been doing it now like two times in a row, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Was Jimmy one of the guitarists that brought you to play guitar when you were growing up, or was it?
No, see, what's funny is, because obviously I'm left-handed and I play upside down. So my dad actually gave me a right-handed guitar, and then he tried to teach me to play right-handed, and I couldn't figure it out. So when he left the room, I flipped it upside down. So I actually played backwards, and I just kept going with that. And then obviously, as you get older and you want to start to really get into playing and listen to the tone, you start to look at different players. One of the obviously Albert King. Then you start going to Stevie Ray Vaughan, and then you just start to realize there's certain things as a lefty that I'm going to do that some righties can't do, and then I just really started working it, and then next thing I know, I found myself Melina Moy. I'll be honest, no, I actually just played for the Queen of England on top of a castle on my European tour, which was that was like so surreal with the Royal Flyover, and I remember when I hit the last note, and I was like, oh my God, I'm on top of a castle playing for the Queen of England, the national anthem. And that was the best. That pitch went like this. Jeff Beck can't do it, and I said, I'll do it. Yeah. And I said, I'll do it. He's like, you don't know what it is. I said, it doesn't matter. You said Jeff Beck can't do it.
So you got your album's coming out this year or next?
This year. My single actually is called I Like It a Little Rough. It just dropped yesterday, and then I'll actually be promoting the single on Arsenio Hall on the 30th. So I'm so excited because it's rock, and I just want to show that, we love to rock, and it's a lot of fun. In June, the album comes out in June.
What can fans expect that might not be familiar with
My son, absolutely. Well, I love to seriously blur genres and styles. So I'm going to say that the lead off of it is definitely like rock funk. So if you say the Red Hot Chili Peppers meets Led Zeppelin meets the Parliament Funkadelics, mix all that up. Mix all that up, you have Melina Moy.
What's going on with you for the rest of the year? You're working on a new album.
We finished it actually.
It
doesn't get the love. It's got 13 songs. We didn't title it yet. We didn't do the artwork. All we could do is mix it. I could compare it to the first record we did, Abominator. It's we did them at the same time.
Oh,
so.
big time. He's taking. I wish I got.
It was awesome, man. It was a great promotional tour for me.
When he was, I
Played
think
to
I don't think I'd be a comedian.
a ton of people.
I think I'd be a rocker.
And we up. We had a great time. I got one show with Danzig Rockfest in Quebec. And then we started Doyle tour, I believe, in August.
Hello.
All right, cool.
First off, actually, what are your thoughts on getting an award for most rabid fans? What would that mean to you guys?
You can't do it without fans. So, well, technically, I could still write songs in my bedroom, but we wouldn't get to tour the world and play to all of them. So it's pretty awesome.
And what would a golden god mean to you guys?
Robert
Plant. That's what I was gonna say.
What would the award mean to you guys in your career?
Robert Plant.
Robert Plant.
All right, talk about the success of your first single, Heaven Knows. What was the inspiration for that song?
That song actually started out. It's a long story, but in a brief, short way, it kind of started out as a hymn with just the chorus, and it was supposed to be like an interlude on the record. And as we continued writing, it developed into what it is now, and here we are.
People are making a big deal about the nudity.
I don't know. I don't know what people think about it. Not really.
Marilyn Manson's here again today. Like last year, was a repeat performance.
A couple years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. It was awesome. He's great. He's a good friend, so it'll be fun to see him.
And what's your thoughts on Axl Rose getting the Ronnie James Dio Award tonight? Are you guys friends with Axl? Or,
yeah, we
acquaintances.
Acquaintances. We toured with them.
And he should. So.
Yeah.
Any memories that you have from that tour?
He's amazing.
Yeah, watching him kick ass every night was pretty impressive. That he can't sing 2.5 hours of the most unbelievable acrobatics of vocals.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
Going to Hell, you're up for that. Another award for that song as well. Tell me about the inspiration for that track.
That was actually one of the last songs we wrote for the record. We were looking for kind of a simple way to sum up everything we had said, he bailed, and and going to hell seemed like a simple, straightforward metaphor that everyone could understand.
Last question, what's up for the next 3 to 4 months?
Touring, we're touring the world like mad, so keep checking the website goingtohell.me or .xxx, and tour dates just keep getting announced. So I know I'm here right now. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Congratulations.
Why is music?